Dunkelageret Tile, Captain's Log 13, June 2018, Oda, Norway. Every night, almost, from May 8th until November 5th, 2018, I made a new tile while waiting to get an answer on my residency. Imagine having enough belief to keep positivity when at any moment your world could change. I bought an historic building in what was once an industrial factory that changed the farming community into a polluted no man's land with many new jobs and far fewer tourists. That all changed nearly 40 years ago as the factory that smelted lime and coke to produce calcium carbide began to see profit margins fall and the end of an era as the need for calcium carbide declined. CaC2, its chemical name, as a compound required nearly 4,000 degrees Fahrenheit to bond, and upon the eve of the Industrial Revolution, no one could imagine a sustainable energy source that would make the large-scale production of CaC2 possible. However, in an ironic twist, Mother Nature herself would provide this possibility in one of the world's most spectacular seaside landscapes found in Norway's Fjord. As the Industrial Revolution was like a great fire of creation, the fire, when small, could not burn a big log, but as the mechanics of the small burning twigs transferred energy, larger branches could now burn. As the beautiful waterfalls of the Fjord were rerouted, it would be the very water from the glaciers melting that would melt them even faster, as this water was found to create electricity if the finest engineers from Sweden and England were given permission. As this water ran through steel pipes where sheep once grazed, down pristine moss-covered cliffs, into an invention that would use the volume, mass, and pressure of the man-made moving water to spin massive steel turbines, producing an unimaginable amount of electricity up until that point. Electricity by itself is not a pollutant, unless a caveman sees a bolt come out of the sky and destroy his hunting grounds in a mythical inferno. As the excitement grew in 1908 of light bulbs instead of whale blubber, the fire kindled in the imagination of chemists, scientists, businessmen, and kings and queens of nations. The sticks of ideas turned into logs burning, and someone believed there was enough power in the melting waters of the Fjord to bond lime and coke, because now the world needed more miners. And if we are mining more metal, we will need more acetylene gas, not only for miners' headlamps, but also for welding the new massive output of metal ores those miners dig up. For it is calcium carbide that produces the acetylene gas. It is here where the ironic twist lies in what happened to Oda. It was the Industrial Revolution and glaciers and waterfalls that could not put out man's fire, but instead of burning bigger logs, they were creating lightning bolts and turning lime and coke into magical compounds that would promote the need for more lightning bolts as the soot filled the air around the world, melting the glaciers even faster, paving the way for fertilizers made with even the very apple, calcium carbide, that came to be what Oda was known for. As the apple can be the creation of spirits, it was the very spirits of calcium carbide that would feed the apple. As cyanamines became the derivatives made from the lime and coke that the Fjord allowed ships to deliver to the world's largest electric furnace, powered by the waters that could only cascade to the sea, allowing a once-in-an-era's chance for the placement of a factory such as Oda Smelteverks. As lime and coke came from the mines, where miners wore helmets that produced the light they needed to allow them to see the very product that their helmets needed to produce, the light for mining underground. The systematic cycle of industrialization produced enough excess calcium carbide and cyanamide to keep ships and captains employed as they delivered raw materials and shipped containers of the finished product all over the world. In the early 1900s, Oda was a tourist destination and farming community. As the water from the melting mountains of the fjords produced electricity, bricks from England and engineers from Sweden built the Smelteverka, owned by Norwegian businessmen. One of the buildings became known as Dunkelageret, the barrel building. As fast as the snow melted, barrels were made from tin and labels stuck to each barrel that read Oda Smelteverks. These barrels were filled with calcium carbide and taken to ships waiting at the end or the beginning, however you want to look at it, of the narrow and unique Soafjord. Then an American showed up to the party, an American artist whose hard work and search for love also started and or ended, however you want to look at it, in Oda. Love. Not only for a woman, but for a love of Norway that he knew his grandfather for. I bought Dunkelageret based on a feeling of love that will forever be growing. On this day when I signed the paperwork to buy Dunkelageret, not even my uncertain lover could have seen it coming. Because she was uncertain didn't mean I was. I took the signing opportunity as a moment to carve my Norwegian property in clay. As many new mysteries fill me each day, I work in Dunkelageret. The more I believe my certainty creates the greatest mystery for the people who could have never imagined what I imagined, like the pollution that scared away the tourists. This tile was simple, but necessary. How could I ever capture the mystery of Dunkelageret in one night? As unbelievable as it was that I made the decision to buy it.